I only married you because you're rich.
Was the fact that the Filipino wanted to send money back home.
You have to look ways and means just to support the family or the extended family.
Hi there, my name's Neil
I'm Charlene.
and we were here at the beach today and it's quite chilly. It's not quite summer yet. It's actually the 14th of February, it's Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine.
So now let's talk about the stereotypes of being married to an Asian lady. Did you get any comments about being married?
I don't think I would like to say anything about stereotypes of maybe being married to an Asian sort of type thing, because there is people out there that I have heard a few things and stuff. And I suppose in a general way, without sort of kind of getting into specific stories, would be Asian women only want the Western man for his money, which I know that's not your case because I don't have any. But there is that stereotype, and I think it's born out of the internet dating sort of thing, and maybe all it takes is one or two Filipino women to ask somebody for money, and then it gets generalized.
You get labeled.
Yeah.
That's what I hear most of the time. Like, I only married you because you're rich and you've got, you live here in the UK, so you are my ticket to poverty.
Yeah.
In which, in my case, I beg to differ. Because one, I'm an independent woman, and I was a teacher for 16 years. I lived in Thailand. So basically, you're not my ticket to get out of poverty. It's me working hard. And you came in my life when I'm already established, so that was a bonus. But I'm not saying that those who are married to white men or the Western, they have the same case as me, because everybody has their own different reasons why.
What would our ticket be then? For me, it was a ticket to
have a submissive wife, which I also beg to differ.
I met you online. I was going through a period of my life where I was doing something extraordinary, exciting. I was doing my level 4 counselling, and moving into a new world of paying taxes and national insurance, and I hadn't worked for quite a few years, and I was about to step into a counselling role working with problem gamblers. And I wanted to share holidays, share birthdays, share days in the beach. I mean, this is lovely sitting down the beach, but it wouldn't be the same on my own. Eating on my own, sleeping, and watching Rangers on my own. It was visiting family and friends, and going for coffees with other couples. So I think the ticket was to share somebody with a kindred spirit and didn't have a lot of baggage emotionally, and was able to be free thinking and creative, and we do projects together. We've done quite a few projects in the few years we've been together. So,
I mean, the thing is, you can actually, it doesn't really mean like you can just find it with an Asian woman. You can find it anywhere. It just so happened you found it in me, and I am Asian. It's not because Asians are this or Westerners are that, because in every country, in every nation, there's always the bad and the good. There's always, the up and down. You cannot just generalize people based on culture, appearance, and upbringing, and that makes me really, I couldn't say angry, but it bothers me when I hear people saying, "Oh, Filipinos are this, so they just want your money, blah blah blah." Because there are those Filipinos who actually marry somebody because of money, and they have their own reasons. I can't say it's good or bad because it's their life. They have, it's their own thinking, it's their own life, shall we say. But it's just bothersome for me, and I still get affected by that.
I have heard of one person's experience. They married a Filipino, and there was a child involved. And what became problematic in the relationship was the fact that the Filipino wanted to send money back home. So it wasn't so much their own personal greed or taking personal wealth. It was the extended family, not just the mum and dad, but the siblings and cousins and stuff. And that's that this person told me, and that's where I think the problem can arise, because you wouldn't be aware of that until it actually happened, and then it would cause conflict between the two parties.
Yeah, it is part of the culture of Filipinos to help siblings, parents, relatives, and kids, and all the rest of the whole city, shall we say. I think that the main thing is because it was used in a different context. I mean, if you really look at the root, it's basically being a family, a close-knit family, being close to your parents, close to your siblings, and you try to help them as much as you could. But then again, it became so big that majority of those who are like the breadwinners, they forget about themselves and just help others because it's expected of them. It doesn't become a choice now, it become a responsibility. And if it's a choice, if it's your choice to help your family, good. But if it's not your choice and it was just imposed on you, that becomes the problem, because you're not enjoying what you're doing, and to the point like you have to look ways and means just to support the family or the extended family. And maybe that's why some people do it. I'm not doing it. I'm happy to say that my siblings are established. My father's happy with his life, and
Is it an independence thing then? Like it's easy to criticise, but if you see the bigger picture, if somebody's not working, they haven't got any money, and it's not a choice because they don't have a job. And if you look at the sort of kind of meaningness behind it, it's actually trying to keep families together and feed people and pay for electricity and stuff like that. It's not for going on holiday or buying Nike or anything sort of kind of upmarket. And I think that the British culture is maybe too upmarket, too shiny, too glossy. But I've worked with the elderly in periods of my life, and they seem to be shunned away in society, closed off. And I have noticed, not so much in the Philippines, but likes of India, who you could say kind of a third world country. And anytime I see any, I haven't been there, but you see these programs and people are going through like edges of town and trains, and you see all these little kids, sort of big white teeth and smiles, sort of type thing, and you think, is it the love of the family that's more important than actually a 46-inch television or a big mansion or a swimming pool and stuff like that? And through my studies of counselling, that's where you form your emotional state for the rest of your life, between 0 and 7. And so you can have the love of your family. And during my studies, we looked at cultural and
Diversity.
yeah, in Africa and these sort of kind of tribal lands that are quite sort of kind of rare nowadays. And like when a woman's pregnant and this person, male or female, is coming into the tribe, they have a party to welcome the skills and the contribution of the child into what it can bring to everyone. So it's got all that love and attention. Whereas over here, a woman will go in and it's something like 2 days and she's back out, and she doesn't get a manual. She has maybe a sort of kind of a carer who comes round and checks the child for all the different things you need to check for everything that's working right. So there's maybe there's things that we can learn from third world countries where they focus their attention not to the wealth but to the
love.
the well-being. Yeah. And I think the world is coming to a well-being thing. Well-being's in the last 20 years is looking at who you are and how you fit into the world rather than get the world to fit into to you.
Yeah, going back to that, sending money, I think the root of that is love. Like whatever you have, you want to share it to the rest of your family because you love them. You don't want them to suffer, so you give them everything. And but if it's too much, then that creates a different kind of perspective as well, because you can only give a certain, like boundaries to help, not to rescue, because once you rescue, that means you're doing everything for your family, and that means forgetting about yourself. And what I've seen happened is that because one member of the family is working hard for the rest of the family, the others were kind of slacking and just depending on the one who is providing. I'm not saying it happens all the time, but there are cases like that. And I felt that it's because there was no manual. There's no really clear boundaries and clear indications to this is just what I can offer, and this is what you need to do for yourself as well, because I won't be there for the rest of your life, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there's if I turn it round and look at it from a British perspective, it would be akin to parents helping a child, maybe buying a flat for them and sending them like at university £200 or £300 a week to get by, sort of thing, and just being nursed into life. But then all of a sudden, when you're out there in life and you realise that electricity's not free, and you have to buy toilet roll, and you get council tax, and you get taxed, and you get insurance, and television licence, and all these bills that you're just not familiar with. And if you just sort of ignore them because you haven't been in a way of dealing with them, because your parents overseen all these things in your early days, it can actually turn you into something else. Because if these bills get on top of you, it formulates your personality. You become, I would call it a survivalist. I don't know if that's a word I've made up, but a survivalist would be somebody who spends just now and worries about tomorrow. And if you do that, you're going to run into a lot of anxieties and uncomfortabilities, lack of sleep deprivations and all sorts.
Yeah, and I think there's no manual in loving, and especially for your family, and you just wanted the best for your family, and sometimes you just allow that person that you love to be dependent on you, taking away the person's autonomy to make decisions and to go out and to really survive. because you shelter that person because of your love. You shelter that person and you wanted the best for the person. But there's also what we call tough love, like giving that space for the person to grow and to develop and to survive, because life is not easy.
In the addiction world, they call that pattern of behaviour enabling. We enable the person to stay within their addiction, so you can enable people to not have the momentum from within them to better themselves or to get on or to face problems, because as the book says by Scott Peck, The Road Less Travelled, the very first line, life is difficult. And if you don't believe life is difficult, then automatically you must think life is easy. And if you think life is easy, then you see everybody else accomplish, because that's what you see, and you feel out of sorts because it doesn't happen for you. You know, they get the girl, they get the car, they get the house, they get the job, they get everything because you see it, but it doesn't happen for you. So then you question who you are and what you're doing. And I'm going to bring this podcast to a close, and all I would ask is please like and subscribe. And from Neil
And Charlie.
it's bye for now. Bye-bye.
Oh dear.